All right, well, this is enraging. Blizzard is at it again. This time, now actively not just refusing refunds, reportedly, but also reportedly banning users for helping others get refunds. Sure would be a shame if some internet neckbeard made a video about it and shared the link in the description below to request your refund. By the way, if you fall within the parameters of a refund policy, refusing such is against the law. And I started a thread on Twitter asking people about their refunds. Look, my relationship with Blizzard is strained. I went on hiatus over the Hong Kong thing, but I never have and never would judge anybody else for just enjoying life and playing whatever video games they want. I still wish I could play Classic. I just can't get over that nostalgia itch. Maybe I'll give in one day, but not yet. So they rolled out Warcraft 3 Reforged, which was a unmitigated disaster. It is complete garbage. And the articles keep coming out. Let's just reframe all the current issues with it. Then I'm going to show you that they're banning people for demanding refunds or ignoring refunds. Then I'm going to show you how to do it. Then I'm going to show you how they're treating other existing customers, including a podcaster on Linus Tech Tips WAN show, banning him with no explanation as well. We've got a lot to pile on Blizzard. So get your popcorn, get your G Fuel, get your PBRs, whatever your favorite brew is. Let's get into this. So, according to Forbes, Warcraft 3 Reforged is a disaster, and here's why fans are upset. It's been a rough couple years for Blizzard. First, we had the unfortunate Diablo Immortal mobile phone announcement in 2018. Don't you guys have phones?
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
Then the Hong Kong protests and everything surrounding the streamer who supported said protest at the end of his stream and was subsequently banned from Blizzard. Even some politicians spoke out against that one. Even the announcement of Overwatch 2 felt a bit lackluster, since the game looks more like an expansion of the original rather than really a groundbreaking sequel. Diablo 4 is probably the most exciting news from Blizzard in a long time, but that game is still years from completion. By the way, this comes from Eric Kane over on Forbes. Dude always seems to put together pretty decent pieces, so shout out to him. So he catalogs exactly what's going on with this. What exactly was going on with Reforged? Well, lots of stuff. One, Blizzard promised better cutscenes with improved graphics, cinematics, and voice work, but what they showed off at BlizzCon, even as far back as 2018, is not what we got for the final game. Gamers are reporting numerous bugs, crashes, hangups, assets not loading, and many other problems that shouldn't exist in a remaster of a decades-old game. Some are saying the UI looks worse than before. Others are saying the game in general looks worse, though this is subjective. I am one of those. I do believe when you look at the old footage versus the new footage, the old version just seemed to have better clarity, in my opinion. Yeah, the colors are brighter in this newer version, but I think you lost a lot of the fidelity. Now that many users are experiencing login connectivity issues as well. Connecting to custom game matches or even accessing the campaign has been an issue for many. Now that both Reforged and the original game are on the same online infrastructure, those connectivity issues will impact the original game as well. Some basic features of the original are no longer in the remaster. According to one user on Reddit, this includes automated tournaments, clans, profiles, competitive ladder, and much more. The new user agreement also includes language that essentially copyrights all user-created maps. We covered that yesterday as well. Fans are attempting to get refunds, some with more success than others. I'm not sure how accurate this is, but others are reporting users being banned from Blizzard's forums for complaining or asking for refunds. Take that with a grain of salt, but if true, it's a problem. Well, people on my own Twitter thread asking about this, Al Valentine says they're refusing refunds in Ireland. Folks, report them to the CCPC Ireland. Shin something. Sorry, buddy. Apparently, they're refusing everybody's refund, even if the person never installed the game. Al says, I've never installed it either, and I got refused. Open a ticket to dispute, and no response at all. Now, certainly, everyone could be lying. Sure. I think I just spit what I said. Everybody could be lying. I don't think that's the case. Chris Grant saying, I couldn't get a refund through the Blizzard website, but I opened a ticket and got one. But could also be part of the fact that I never played it. You see, it's sad to see how far Blizzard Entertainment has fallen. It makes me wonder how they're going to handle the World of Warcraft Shadowlands in the fall. And if you go into this article even further, of course, it talks about Warcraft 3 Reddit and Blizzard forums are war zones at the moment, with gamers up in arms over the state of the game. The memes are out in full force. This is just one disaster in a string of bungled projects, announcements, and releases from Blizzard that, at least on their face, seem entirely avoidable. It's perplexing, to be honest, given the size of the company and the success of so many of its past projects. Seriously, if you take WoW Classic out of the equation, right? You just pluck it out of there. It's been basically several years of complete failure from the largely divisive opinions on BFA, the last retail expansion, Diablo Immortal, obviously the Overwatch stuff, the Blitz chunks. It's just been one embarrassment after another. Now, WoW Classic, outside of the queue times, and it does have its problems, still pretty much delivered what they promised. It's baffling to me that they can do so decent with that, although the queue times were pretty ridiculous at launch, and then bungle everything else. Either they're spread too thin or they just don't care. I'm starting to think it's the latter. These are unforced errors that Blizzard should by now be able to avoid. That it keeps making is beyond all explanation. Certainly, if nothing else, the original game should not be impacted by the failures of the remaster. That's a new kind of mistake, even for the video games industry. All this will no doubt put a damper on fan enthusiasm for the Diablo 2 remaster and for Diablo 4's eventual release. It's really too bad. I love many of Blizzard's games. Even Diablo 3 ended up being pretty good after a couple years of updates, and I still love Overwatch. Hopefully Blizzard can get back on track. I just don't think they will. I don't think that they're in a situation where they've been forced to. I think that people just really, first of all, love to complain about Blizzard. I guess I'm one of those people too. But I'm also, and have been for a very long time, a paying customer. Although the Hong Kong thing kind of changed that. But now if we look at the PC Gaming Reddit, it says Blizzard is reportedly banning users on Warcraft forum for helping other people get refunds. There are reports of Blizzard attempting to quell discontent and user fund help requests by banning users of the official Warcraft 3 forums. Bans being given by Blizzard over refunds has also been reported on the blog at CCN. It's also been reported by Forbes now. And you can see in this subreddit, you can see people are getting banned. So it looks like people don't want Blizzard to speak out about refunds on their forums for the first 2 hours of launch. And then you can see here the link going to, let me open that up quick, their general forum, by the way. And it's full of just, look at, I mean, I hope that this is still there by the time the editor grabs it, but top post, Blizzard is denying refunds, warning. That at 74 comments 34 minutes ago. I've never made a hate post before. This, it's just, people are losing their minds. How dare you, Blizzard? Is Blizzard ever going to make a statement? No, they never do. They never do. The game is not on point after all this time developed and in beta. The chat is full of people complaining that they can't join custom games, and some can't even start the campaign. Some people are saying that they have a black screen after the cinematic or the message of defeat appear. Note that some people are saying they've said some inappropriate things to get the banhammer, but I saw many posts about getting refunds simply getting flagged for no reason in the first 2 hours of launch. That said, by the way, if you want a refund, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Make sure you fill it out. Don't wait. Fill it out now and follow up voraciously. Look, there is absolutely nothing wrong with getting a refund and then picking it up later. What's wrong with that, right? Look, it's not a finished product, clearly. It's not what they offered, clearly. So I think if I had paid for it, I would say, you know what, maybe I'll come back to it. Because they did make Diablo 3 good after many updates. So, you know, jumping back into Diablo 3 now might seem worth it versus being an early adopter, essentially a paid alpha tester is what it appears. But so much of what's wrong with the game, just visually and bug-wise, is unacceptable. And I'm not sure how long it's going to take before they get it together, if they ever will. And I also want to give a shout out to Luke from the WAN show, which is Linus Tech Tips show. I'm going to show you just an example and take a clip of what a long-time paying customers had to go through. Luke, shout out to you. Maybe this will get Blizzard's attention too. Luke was banned for 6 months without a reason.
The day that my mama or my grandma on my dad's side passed away, or not passed away, her funeral was the launch day of Classic WoW. And I flew across the country. And we had like a LAN party in the hotel room that night.
Good old
to try to like
WoW style.
Bring the family together. Now my brother, my dad, and I all raid together, and it's like a thing. So it really sucks, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I have appealed it 3 times. I've gotten automated responses back every time, just being like, nope, 6 months, bye.
On top of not getting a reason, he also continually asked for clarification and was denied such.
Can we just talk about like what actually happened? Because I still don't know.
Are you chatting with this person?
Live chat. I still don't know, and I'd like to like understand so I don't get banned again in the future. And he said, we do not discuss that info with players. I said, I'm confused. He said, again, we do not give any details beyond what is emailed to you. Those details can be used to make you more undetectable. I said, I'm not trying to be undetectable. He says, cool, then you understand why we do not give any further details and cannot discuss this further.
Even going so far as to basically tell him that he's allowed to ban evade.
I said, I don't really understand how to move forward. Although I guess if that's all you can say, we're done. He said, you're welcome to play on another account or access this one in 6 months.
So they're telling him, hey, Luke, we're not going to tell you why we banned you, and we're not going to tell you what you did or how to change your behavior, but you know what? Give us another $15 a month and start another campaign. And Luke is one of the most wholesome YouTube WoW players you can imagine. He plays with his entire family. He played at his grandmother's funeral with his family to kind of bring everybody together. What an amazing World of Warcraft story. And this is somebody you banned, and the level of customer service you delivered is deplorable. Blizzard, I don't know what else we can do. I don't know how many times we're going to have to teach you, but seriously, if you bought this game and you don't refund it now, then I can't help you. If you want to go back to it after news of, updates and everything else gets fixed, that's cool. That's the way the market's supposed to work. Blizzard, you cannot continue to deny people's refunds. You can't be banning people from your forums who are upset that they got bamboozled. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, leave a comment, share it out there, and we'll talk to you again real soon.